Well, I've had elves come and help me this week in my trailer. I was here Monday when the sewer people were here, and we're going to use my old concrete sewer, so that had to be pumped out, but they had to put another motor right there to run a sprinkler system, which I'm learning about. I really didn't understand that, but it's the only way I could get permitted. And there's sprinklers in the ground. That purple thing right there is a sprinkler. My dogs I have to come up here and let them out, so they're all excited to be out. And it's about 40 feet later, where that white post pops up there, is another sprinkler, and then about 40 feet past that is another sprinkler. And what that does is, when this tank gets full and starts putting a lot of stuff in this, and it gets to a certain point, it'll automatically, there's a motor on it, and you can see the motor there, and it'll automatically turn on these sprinklers and kind of disperse some of your sewage water on your property. The sewage used to run off our property behind that fence, but it goes down the hill to a pond, and the man didn't want it doing that anymore, and I don't blame him. So this is the only other way we could get permitted in the end. So that worked out good. Now this motor here, it goes underground. I may have to cover this a little bit more, put some more dirt on it. But it comes up, the wiring comes up in this pipe right here and goes up into our electrical box. And while those sewer guys were here doing all that the other day with my pumping out the sewer and recertifying it and all that stuff and getting that motor on, they went ahead and dug a 3-foot trench with their trencher all the way from the bottom of that pole to the trailer, kind of sideways like that. So it cost me a little extra. They did charge me a little, but I actually offered. I mean, if they hadn't been willing to do it, I would have had to rent a trencher or do it myself. I don't know if anybody's ever dug a 3-foot trench before, but it's not easy. And this is probably about a good 30 feet or so. So no. I paid them $100 and they did it in about 10 minutes. But anyway, so my electrical comes up there. It follows that conduit, follows it on around, and it 90s up into my house. This is just a layman talking about this. So I wasn't here when the man came to do my electrical Saturday, and I wasn't here when the plumber came to do his stuff the other day. I think he was here late Friday night, like maybe 8 o'clock at night, and they worked till whenever. I don't even know how long it took them. They had about 3 jobs ahead of me, but they made a promise to come Friday night, and he texted me early Saturday morning and said they had got here that night and done it. And but anyway, I got sick and I still don't feel that great, and so I missed it. It was like little elves had came and just took care of my house. Of course, you have to pay people, they're contractors, but I had people that I could trust up here working. The sewer people, the plumbers, and the electrician were all good people. I didn't mind not being here. I completely trusted their work. I'm going to call the inspector today and see if he will come look at some of this and allow me to get temporary electricity. The deal is, when you're doing a project, you have your particular county, we call them parishes in Louisiana, you have your different codes. And in our parish, it says that I cannot get electricity until my trailer is finished with all of these subcontractors, until it's got the air conditioner installed and skirted and steps put against all the doors. Now, all the paperwork from the trailer company says the air conditioner man won't come until you have electricity. The skirting man won't come until you have electricity. And the factory trim out people won't come until you have electricity. And let me throw in water for all that too. They want electricity and water. Water I have, my water is on, that's no problem. It's the electricity. So it's like chicken or the egg. That's what I'm always doing. So I'm just gonna call the permit department today and just ask them, can I get some temporary electricity so that I can finish out these major things like the skirting, the air conditioning, and the factory trim out. And then he can come look today if he wants to, so he can see everything under my trailer, and then he can come back when it's all finished to give me an occupancy permit. To me, there should be a temporary permit and then an occupancy permit. But the paperwork only says we have an occupancy permit, so not sure how that works. All I know is I'm the proud owner of a whole lot of PVC pipe, a whole lot of conduit. That's my sewer system coming into the bottom of the trailer there. Then it makes a 90. It goes all along the bottom of the trailer to the different parts where it needs to be, the different bathrooms and stuff. Water hose actually came up out of the ground right here, like a water faucet. And it was right where the edge of the trailer is, so if the skirting went down, it was going to hit it. So the plumbers moved me a little faucet here at the end of my trailer. The skirting guy will just work around it when he comes, so that's very handy. They also put me one out by the dog pen. Come to find out, I actually had a line running out there. Didn't even know it. And it was stopped up out of the ground, but I didn't really realize what it was. And it was capped off, so they put a hose on it for me. But this must be my kitchen sink here. I've just got everything in the right places. Says the girl who doesn't know a whole lot about it. This is my motor here for my sewer system. We have what they call MODAD systems here in Louisiana, and they have motors that keep them aerated and all that stuff. And you have to keep it up to date and working order. That right there is my dryer vent. But we're responsible for it after the skirting is put on. I'm responsible for venting that out. So we'll have to do that later. And if I'm not mistaken, he just tacked this on the end of the trailer here. But this is the disconnect service for the air conditioner. And I'm going to end up just putting my air conditioner right here at the end of the trailer. More pipe in there. That's probably where Richard's shower is, in our bathroom. There's a toilet and a shower, so that might be both of them. And that's a good sewer clean out place, I guess, if I ever need it. Looks like they left me some scraps. Goody. Well, they said since my sewer had been completely inspected, and because my electricity was completed and my plumbing was completed, they'll come on out here now while they can see everything under the trailer and do the inspection. So that means they'll go ahead and send the work order into my electric company to cut my lights on. However, jumped out at me again in my paperwork where it says my hot water heater has to be filled up with water before the lights come on. So I went in there to just see about it, and I also texted my plumbers and just said, how do I do this? They might have done it, I don't know. But if not, I need to do it. Now I've gotten myself under the gun because I was expecting a little pushback on the permitting, and they said, yeah, they know where I am. They knew I already had an electric pole and that I'm pretty much set up. And so they're working with me. So now I have a little picture of the little screw I have about 6 screws on this panel of my hot water heater that I have to take it off. I have to take this panel off. I could go up in that 18-wheeler right now and dig through all kind of stuff and try to find this little certain wrench I need to get these little screws off. And y'all, I'm gonna show a picture of it. I know you men are gonna laugh. They're gonna be like, oh, she could get that off with so-and-so. I'm just gonna run to the hardware store and ask them to sell me something that'll just come out here and let me screw those things off really quick. I just don't have the time to dig through that 18-wheeler. I don't have the energy. So that's my what's going on with me right now. I'm just kind of zapped. I didn't have the flu. I tested negative for the flu, but I just don't have any energy to sit out here and do a whole lot of stuff. But I need to get that hot water tank filled up, and just to make sure I don't burn the darn thing up when the electricity comes on. And the way things work, I mean, it could get done today for all I know. So if they don't have anything else going on, they could email what they need to the electric company. Somebody might just come by on their way down this highway and boom, I might have it. So that's how, it's good. That's good, I'm not complaining. But I need to get that hot water fixed. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. Thank you so much. I'll update as more stuff gets done. Bye-bye. Well, I'm back with an update. I just thought I would go ahead and finish this particular chore here with you on this one video. This right here under my trailer, it's a valve that's just to the right of our door. It's under our trailer. That's an emergency cutoff valve for our water. and it was in this position. It was up. And I called my plumber yesterday, and he said, next time you go back out there, just let me know and I'll walk you through filling up your hot water tank. So I said, all right. So when I called him today, he called me right back, and he said, just go out there and put that lever straight down to where it runs parallel with the pipe. So I did that. And then he had me come into both bathrooms and just turn on the hot water, just the hot water. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that valve came on right away, but the kitchen sink and the guest bathroom just sat there doing nothing. It's got water now, but it was just doing nothing. It was just sputtering. And he told me to let the air come out of it and then let the water run full blast for about 5 minutes. And then once all the air had bled out, it had run for 5 minutes on all 3 faucets, that my hot water tank would be filled up at that point. And after a while, I almost called him back because it didn't do anything. Only that one faucet was running. These 2 were just sitting here looking like they were dead. So of course, I opened my cabinets down there, got on my hands and knees, checked to make sure I even had water cut on to the hot water pipe. It showed it was, but it sure didn't feel like it. And I was just about ready to text him and call him whenever it all of a sudden started coming on. So now I'm just letting it run, and according to him, the hot water tank will fill up about that fast, and I could hear it in the hot water tank immediately. So that's all it kind of took, was just doing that one valve and then coming here and bleeding these lines and getting the tank to apparently fill up on its own, which was so good because I just had these visions of like dragging a water hose across my yard and into the house and filling it with a water hose or something. I know people may laugh. Yeah, I kind of quantify what I say sometimes because I know that there are people out there that watch videos that kind of maybe know how to do this kind of stuff. And you can't believe what might go through somebody else's head when they're trying to do it. And they make it harder than it needs to be. But I'm telling you, sometimes the simplest task can seem like a mountain, which is why a lot of people never do them. And they just call people to help, which I do sometimes, or they don't get them done correctly, or they have to go run watch videos to watch somebody else do it before they'll have the nerve to do it. Whatever it takes, just kind of keep going forward, work through it. I'm just fortunate that whenever I hired the contractors that I did, my electrical, my sewer, my plumbing, they were all good people, and I'm just a text away from them. I can call them and text them and ask them questions and whatever I need, and they've been so good to me, and I appreciate it so much. This wasn't as hard as I thought, but my thoughts of it had prevented me from getting this task done, and now I know how to do it. Well, actually, I won't really have to do it a whole lot anymore unless we drain that tank for some reason, and at that point, I'm probably gonna stop, ask questions again, and make sure I'm doing that right, and redo it again in the same way later, but after having made sure that I was draining it right and all that stuff. So every time you go to do something, it's a little different. And if time goes by in between the first time you did it and the next time, you forget sometimes, so you have to start over. But what I'm learning in my gut is just to not be so afraid of some of these tasks, to not be so afraid, and to just get them done. My next task, not on this video, is I found out yesterday I have to build a 1 foot tall platform for my air conditioner. The air conditioner actually has to be as high as the bottom of our trailer. So it's going to be in the back corner of our trailer, which is 4 foot off the ground. The man that installs the air conditioning will bring out only as large as a 3x3 platform to put the air conditioner on. So I actually have to build a 1 foot tall platform, and I'm gonna build it a little bit bigger than 3 foot, just to make sure his platform fits on mine the way it needs to, with a little extra room around the edges. But I need to build that platform. There again, adding things to my list that I'm trying to get things knocked off my list, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Just to get a major task accomplished sometimes, there has to be little things done and put in place to make that task go okay. So that's what I'm going through now. I'm not gonna lie, it is freezing out here today. It's freezing. It's gonna be freezing tomorrow, and it's supposed to be really cold Thursday. That's supposed to be the really cold day around here. One good thing though, is they haven't cut my lights on yet, so I kind of have an excuse. My miter saw is out here in the 18-wheeler, so I can get it out. I actually have all the boards that I need to make it out here already. Thank goodness. I had gotten a lot of 2x4x8 treated lumber a while back for another project that I was gonna do in that 18-wheeler container. I'll just get more boards for it later. With this weather and with my time constraints, I'm just gonna go with what I have. I'm gonna grab those boards out of there, and then I had a lot of 4x4 treated lumber that was put in my burn pile by the people that came and picked up that old porch that used to be out here. It was perfectly good 4x4s they put in my burn pile, so I'm gonna pull them out, and those are gonna make the legs for my base, and my 2x4s are gonna make the surrounding and the top material for my base. So I have enough. I even have screws. I had bought a 5-pound bucket of screws the other day, 3-inch screws. So, and I keep my drill in my car. I'm just gonna go home tonight and make sure that all my batteries are charged up in my drill. And as soon as these lights get cut on in the next day or so, I'm gonna just get out here and go on and get that done. Hopefully those lights, hopefully with the scheduling of the air conditioner ban, I may not have to be out here building it till like Friday when it kind of warms up a little bit. I'm not excited to get out here in 30 and 40 degree weather on Thursday or something and build this. So we'll just see how it works. If he can't come till next week or something, that'd be okay. But we'll see how it goes. I just have to kind of work with what I got. So thank you again. This is it. Final sign off. This is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.